green water. It's time to drink some green water. One thing that gives me hope for humanity is never underestimate self-preservation. Self-preservation and best interests. Everyone's going to act on their best interests and their self-preservation. I'm working on natural light today. It used to be fear and greed, but now I think it's self-preservation and best interests. And be sure to take your vitamins. And have a good attitude. And it takes a while for you to correspond with your subconscious mind. There is a correspondence, but it takes time. For your conscious mind and your subconscious mind to correspond. It takes a lot of nurturing. A lot of nurturing. It takes a lot of persistence. Reassuring. You have to reassure your subconscious mind that your reality is what it is. Because again, your subconscious believes everything. Hello again from Germany. Good day. Guten Tag, mein Freund. It is crazy times. There are crazy things happening. But again, never underestimate a human's need to protect his best interests and self-preservation. That's what I think that's what's going to save the human race is preservation, self-preservation, and best interests. Isn't that what we're all about? We really don't seem to care. Hello, oh, Captain Eddie. I like that. Yes, America has Trump now, and I find it. Oh, yes, there might be some hope. He's forcing people to negotiate. That's what I've noticed. They're all saying, okay, here's what we can do. Here's what we can offer. But then again, don't shoot yourself in the foot. You got to be careful. I think he's smarter than what we're giving him credit for. But then again, one can only tell, or time will only tell. Things don't always look good right away. How are you? Doing fine? I'm glad to hear you're here. I'm working with natural light right now. I don't have any lights on. It's all shining in the window. And I have my snacks. I have my sense of humor. That's what we should never lose, is our sense of humor. No matter how weird things get, we need each other. I think that's what this is all showing, is that we need each other. We need Canada. We need Mexico. But we need to come to the table and figure things out. Once we get everything figured out, everything will go smoothly after that. We need to realize that we all, whether you're China, whether you're Canada, whether you're Mexico or America, you all need something from each other. And why don't we make it easier? Make it easier on each other. Instead of scaring people with tariffs, just say, look, we need your oil, we need your steel, we need your microchips. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Well, so you are John your Stefan Felix. We have Viva. I know. We need each other. Why are we making it hard? You can think of anything, like whiskey. They're boycotting Jack Daniels. They're boycotting uh, things bought from red states, the ones who voted for Trump. And it's like, if we all just got along, how much better would it be? The money, the booze would just flow. We need the money to flow. We don't need the money to go. We need it to flow. And if we establish good trade, imagine the possibilities. Not a shot fired, not a missile launched. If everybody were just realizing that we need something from each other. We do. We need something from each other. And imposing tariffs, how does that help anything? It just pisses people off. Why? But that's a good way to get people to negotiate is when they're scared or because everybody, their best interests, again, it goes back to our best interests. We're all going to do whatever it takes because we need money in our accounts. We need money to pay for things. So how far will the bamboo bend? That's what we need to ask. How far will the bamboo bend? They say the tallest bamboo bends the lowest, And, but what will we tolerate? Will we tolerate high expenses? It was good. All in all, we got our missions accomplished. We had to pay our valorum. It's a yearly tax. We have to pay a yearly tax, or they call it property tax. And it's hovering around $70 a year. But still, that's $70. Imagine how many grocery items you can buy for $70. Or how much gas you could buy for $70. But where does that money go? It goes to some guy who could sit behind a desk and type. It goes to more regulations, But you have to keep a good mood. You got to keep a good mood, a good attitude while all this is going on. Yeah. Business as usual. You can always rely on business as usual. No matter what's going on, it's always business as usual. About 6 dozen eggs. Yeah, I know, if you calculate it. Good God, y'all. Why do we do that to each other? Why do we do that? I would make it easier. Allow people to have their own chickens. Imagine that. There are people who really know how to raise chickens. Let them have chickens. I noticed that in California. There were the Laos people. People from Laos, they would have their own chickens. And it's like, what could be fresher than that? You want fresh chicken? Get it when it was alive about 10 minutes ago, Or you want eggs? Eggs that you don't have to refrigerate? Here you have to refrigerate your eggs. And you have to pay so much for them. Really? There are people here in Georgia. They'll meet you in the parking lot and sell you some eggs. It's like, sell you some eggs. And it's like, it helps the economy, subsidizes. You don't need the government to subsidize. Just allow people to buy and sell. Imagine that. If people were just allowed to buy and sell, that would supplement. That would be their subsidy. See, I could make T-shirts. I could make anything people want to buy. As long as the government approves, The government has to approve. And that's what's sad. You have to get the government's approval to do what comes naturally. I could open a kissing booth. I don't know if I'd get a lot of business, but I could open a kissing booth. Remember kissing booths? You just line up and you pay your $1 or your $5, depending on how good the kiss is. Or a hugging booth. There are people who hire themselves out as cuddlers. There are professional cuddlers. Who doesn't want to cuddle with the right person? Put 10s with 10s, put 9s with 9s. Oh, somebody retracted. Well, good day, everyone. I hope I can radiate a good attitude. Optimism, that's what we really need, optimism. The optimum optimism that we can provide. That's what I could have, a compliment booth. Just a booth where people come up, they pay their $5, and I compliment them. Who doesn't want a compliment? Or even haircuts. I could have a booth where you only get one haircut, and that's with the number 3 clip. I shave every hair on your head with the number 3 clip. Your hat would fit better, especially during the summertime. You probably wouldn't get bugs. You wouldn't get bugs in your hair. I think this is a number 3. This is number 3, yeah. You can see through. You could see any bugs that might be trying to live there. I think we could all have some kind of service if we were allowed to. Make the best lemonade, make the best cup of tea. Or even people are into stuff. Buy and sell comic books. A lot of people like, and Pokemon cards. Your booth can be dedicated to Pokemon cards. Or baseball cards. People will pay top dollar for a baseball card. Depending on who's on the card and whether it was signed. You have to preserve them. They have these. There was a guy I knew who preserved baseball cards before he died. People die. Why are there so many people? How many times can you variate the human being? How many different variations of a human being can you have? Why do there need to be so many people? You basically, if you've seen one human being, you've seen hello and welcome. You start to see the same people. Have you noticed that? When you go out and about, you start to see the same people. If there's so many people, why do we see the same people? There's supposed to be billions of people on the face of the earth. More people now than there have ever been on planet Earth. And we still see the same people. Some we like, some we don't like. Some that amuse us. Some that break our heart. That's what we need is unity. We all need each other. Like it or not, we need each other. We need to set aside our differences and look at our similarities. Look what makes us similar. We all go to the bathroom. We all sneeze. Eating unknown. Are you eating the unknown? Is that part of your diet? You have a diet of the unknown. That's what scares people, is the unknown. Fear of the unknown. But what if the unknown is good for us? It's not unknown if it becomes known. Once it's known, sometimes it's a disappointment. Sometimes it's scary. What kind of business would you have if you were allowed to have one? I would sell chocolates. I would sell chocolates at a certain temperature. You know, when the chocolate breaks off? Hershey's, German chocolate, Cadbury, so many different kinds of chocolate. And then I would be done at 5 o'clock, and then I would go home. I would go home and I would pay my bills. Life can be easy, but they make it hard. Life could be very easy. You could just be a greeter. You know, sit at the park under an umbrella and say hi to people. Just say hi, and people feed you. People would bring you food. People would make sure you were warm because they like you saying hi. Volcano-headed grandpa speaking Greek and Latin when speaking less reading. Yes, volcano head. I've never been referred to as a, yes, chatterbox. The chatter, if we can stop the chatter in our heads, that's what the monks, quiet the monkey mind. Stop all the chatter. If we can just sit quietly, imagine what we'd learn. But you know what? For whatever reason, they're watching. For whether they like me or kind of like me, I can just sit here and look out the window. We need to think of what service we would provide. What service would you provide? Shoulder massages. Become angry. I want to see you angry. It's a dare. You want to see me angry? I get angry, but I'm slow to anger. It takes me a while to get angry. And it usually takes a lot of things that upset me. It's a dare. Angry. Why do you want to see someone angry? Is it entertaining? When some enemy makes you angry, that's what they want. You're giving them what they want. When they make you angry, that's a strategy. People don't think in terms of strategy. It's not about having the biggest bombs. It's not about having a gun that can shoot the most bullets. It's about strategy. Making it to where nobody can show up to the battlefield. Make it to where you don't have enemies in the first place. Strategy, my friend. That's what wins the battles. China's very good at strategies. The buy and hold of land, great strategy. Mexico has a good strategy. Bring as many as you can into the country. Make them dependent upon you. Great strategy. You've really got to think that way. Like Stalin said, quality has a quantity all its own. What's your right? What's my right? What do I write? I don't write much. I don't do much reading either because of dyslexia. It really messes with me. I listen to most e-books. No, they're called audiobooks. I like audiobooks. So I get educated, just not the traditional way. People don't know. They don't know unless they've had it. Dyslexia. Sammy the Bull has dyslexia. He was saying he was He was called, he was judged because of that. But you know what? There are people who conquer in certain ways their disabilities. But is it a disability or is it a challenge? People do refer to it as a challenge. If somebody has a disability, they refer to it as a challenge. Like if you're vertically challenged or dietetically advantaged. A lot of people are dietetically advantaged. All right. So hopefully we haven't really screwed things up with Canada and Mexico. All they have to do is cross land. Why piss them off if all they have to do is cross land and do things to you or deny you things or refuse to buy things that you're trying to sell. We need now more than ever to be able to buy and sell. The whole world seems to be in a slump. Why make it worse? Why not lift restrictions? Today I had been for my eye checkup and got my first. Really? Me too. I have to wear we call them glasses. Spectacles. I kind of like that. Spectacles. I guess it shows maturity. I've been told I look smart when I wear my glasses. People think you're smarter when you wear glasses. I think that's a fact now. I learned that, yeah. But I'd rather not have to wear glasses because you forget your glasses. I've done it a couple of times. Yeah. So, oh yeah, their emoji has glasses. My emojis. I use emojis a lot. I used to be reluctant to use emojis, but they express so much. You can say a lot with emojis. It gets a point across. You can't write a paragraph that describes a good emoji. Oh, at 3 o'clock. Yeah. As long as I'm done by 3 o'clock, I think it'll be okay. Okay. It's 1:13. So yeah, we'll be on our way. We'll be on our way to better things. It's okay to snack. We can snack together. Sometimes people eat cookies while they watch Eddie's Funhouse. Cookies. Or pizza. Some people eat pizza. I've got to cook hamburger tonight. Hamburgers. Hamburgers and hot dogs too. I want to have a barbecue. Does anybody have any jokes? I'm going to start demanding jokes. Not demanding, but I don't want to be demanding. I'm going to urge you to tell a joke. What are you eating? I'm feeling hungry. Give me what you are eating. I'm eating pretzels. It's a mix of things. I have a mixture. Isn't that interesting? Maybe I can sell food. I'll just sit here and eat, and then I can have an online store where people are ready to send out food in the immediate area. Don't eat pork. Never ever in your life. I was told a lot of people are told not to eat pork. Does it mean you won't get into heaven if you eat pork? I think Muslims and Jews, they don't want you to eat pork. Never ever. It's something scriptural. I think some people were turned into pigs. Something like that. I read something about that. Everyone has their reasons. Everything else is fair game. Pardon the pun. If God didn't want us to eat animals, why did he make them out of meat? Why did he make them out of meat? That's a good point. If God doesn't want us to eat animals, why did he make them out of meat? But then again, we're made of meat. We don't eat each other. Most of us don't eat each other. Let's do a challenge. Don't speak for 5 minutes. 5 minutes? I could eat more of my snacks. How will we know in 5 minutes are up? I don't have a clock. 5 minutes. Starting when? Starting now? Who has a clock? Because Jesus said, prohibited from eating pork. Give a, you are prohibited. They were saying because if you don't cook pork if you don't cook it all the way, it can be bad for you. People were getting sick because they didn't cook their pork all the way through. They say that it's based on that. Not so much religion, but something happened. Somebody ate some pork and got either sick or died. That's why it was written in. Somebody can tell me the story. What's the reason? Why are we not allowed to have bacon or ham or pork chops? They were pushing pork for a while. Pork, the other white meat. The other white meat. Yeah. It's what's for dinner. Chicken. Now everything's chicken now. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chick-fil-A, chicken shake and bake. That's what this show is based on, talking. We get to talk to each other. How else are we going to know what we're thinking? I guess you won. If the time already started. It's kind of like staring contests. Pork was created by God in the boat of Noah. Okay. Then he prayed to God because all animals and humans in the boat that doing doing toilet, and it was causing trouble. I see. That's interesting. I thought it was before that. The flood happened after Moses, didn't it? After the whole Moses 40 years in the wilderness, because they were afraid to go into the promised land. There were big, mean giants that were preventing them from entering, and that's why they had to wander in the wilderness. 40 years. Moses lived 100 years, didn't he? Moshe. That's what they call him in the Hebrew. It's interesting how what somebody wrote down thousands of years ago affects us today. How we behave today. That's power. I wonder how what we write down today will affect people thousands of years from now. What would when they look back on us, when we have trade wars, world wars, and disease, famine, pestilence, when they look at our newspapers, when they look at our videos, what are they going to think of us? They're going to go, I'm glad it wasn't like that. I'm glad it's not like that now. It seems like things always stay the same. Everything's political. People always make it harder on other people just because they can. You think all these years we would have thought a better way. We would have chosen a better way. But we still take advantage of one another. We still hate each other. For what? Well, because of what we do to each other. Nobody pays attention to that. No one pays attention to what they do to other people. And there's going to be backlash. If you're sitting next to somebody and you throw a marble at them or, spit on them, what's going to happen? Or you punch them, what's going to happen? It's not going to go well. Why do we do that to other countries? Why do we do that to other? They only want revenge. They don't care why you did it. They don't care anything about that. They just want. Why do you want to cause somebody to go after you? Why do you want somebody to exact their revenge? Revenge is a dish best served cold. Revenge is sweet, they say. The best revenge is success. The best revenge is success. Because but what caused somebody to do it in the first place? Pick an animal which is accepted to various diseases. Therefore, certain diseases, which are diseases for us humans, are not considered a disease for the pork, but when we eat them, those enter our body. They're killing a lot of chickens because of the swine flu. No, the avian, God, what would they call that? They're saying that's why the egg prices have gone up. They've had to just dispose of so many chickens because they had the same thing with mad cow's disease. Remember mad cow's disease? They just have to dispose of what would have otherwise been perfectly good cows. And how is it happening? Sometimes diseases just lie dormant. That's what they're afraid about with they're afraid of with the Antarctic. They're thinking the melting in Antarctica is going to probably awaken some diseases that were frozen, that were dormant. Like fleas. Fleas can lay dormant for a long time. And when they smell blood, they come after it, and suddenly you've got all these fleas that weren't there. They were there, they were just dormant. And sicknesses need a host, and we're a perfect host. We're a perfect host for so many diseases. We're a perfect host, and because if we don't wash our hands, if we don't wash at all, we can breed disease. A lot of it is ignorance and not educating, which is kind of the same thing. We need to be educated. Like, look at how many people cholera killed. Look at how many people, not only cholera, but the Spanish flu. Wasn't that World War I? A lot of people were killed by the Spanish flu. More than were killed by people. So I guess nature does its own genocide. We don't have to bother with genocide. The plague, leprosy, earthquakes. Earthquakes kill lots of people. We don't need to work. I don't know. I guess we need help killing each other. That's why we kill each other. But then this is a one-sided conversation, isn't it? This is just me spewing out of my mouth what is in my head. There's only so much I know. Greed. Greed is an inconvenience. Why do we allow greed? Because some people benefit from it. If you benefit from greed, then you allow it. You allow it and you encourage that behavior. Why does somebody need a $36 million mansion? Why? They just feel entombed. They can't leave the mansion and walk among the commoners. And why don't they allow people to have tiny homes? They're not allowing people to have tiny homes. Build little houses for themselves. People are buying land, they're making little houses for them to live in, and then they come and regulate the hell out of it. Hello! It is Shoba. So we have somebody from a Muslim country, we have somebody from India, we have a mixed bag. This can be the new melting pot. Why not? As long as we're nice to each other, as long as we're not launching missiles or imposing tariffs or doing dangerous things. It's been a while. What was the response? Keseho. If I saw it, I would remember it. It's been, I need to, oh wow, here I go. I'm not being a good student, am I? Keseho means how are you? And then there is hi om. America is like a fishbowl. Yes. Right. Okay. Then I am a good student. Students have to be little sponges. Sponges who eat pretzels. This is a good way to pass the time. Maybe I am right on time. Oh, hold on a second. I have a picture of Ganesha. I was using this as a thumbnail. I was using him as a thumbnail. I am single. I am single for now. I don't know. I think I've come through all the problems in my life. I'm learning not to focus on them. Because if you focus on your problems, you see problems. You have to focus on what you want. Keep your eyes on the prize, baby. Your eyes on the prize. Fight the good fight. As long as you have a good outcome. I mean, not just for you, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. So you don't want to get married? Not in this climate. Women don't seem to be nice. There's not a lot of nice women. And they're starting to see the consequences of their actions. There's a lot of People who are just mean. And I'm seeing that more and more. And then there are videos now of women in their 30s and 40s. They're complaining that they're single, that nobody wants to hit on them. Nobody wants to take them out on a date. And they're giving reasons why. They're giving reasons why nobody wants to take them out. I'm a mechanic, or, this happened to me, and my husband divorced me. It's like, look into why. Why did you love each other so much? And suddenly, he said goodbye. Goodbye, madam. Accountability. I think people struggle with accountability. Why do they struggle? People don't just up and leave. Well, some things aren't help. Some things they can't help. But I'm sure there's a woman out there who are kind. I know. We got to find them. You know what? Those are the abused ones. The women that have the kind heart, they're the ones that are abused. Those are the ones who settle for anything. And what they get is what they settled for. We need to teach good women not to settle. Don't settle. If you're a good woman, don't settle for someone who's abusive. Don't think that that's all you can get. If you think that's all you can get as an abusive man, then it's going to attract an abusive man. You're going to be a perfect storm. You got to say, no, I will not. If he hits you, he'll hit you again. Didn't Oprah say that? If he hits you, he will hit you again. You don't deserve to be hit. Yeah, you don't deserve to be hit. You deserve to be loved and cared about and cared for. But don't expect so much. I think that's what women these days, they expect so much. It's like, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who wants to come home from work and rest a little bit, crack open a beer, have somebody just leave me alone for a while. Truly deserve someone amazing because... Yes, that's what we need to realize. If you're amazing, you'll be deserving of... But then we self-assess, and that's dangerous. When you self-assess, when you self-appraise, you undervalue. Like when you go into a house and you look it over and you appraise that house. A lot of times we don't appraise ourselves. We don't do a good job of appraising ourselves. Other people think we're great, but we don't think we're great. We don't think we're good enough, even for a good person. And it comes from abuse. You need to find out if were you an abused person? Because you say, well, if that's all I'm going to get, I'll settle for that. I'll settle for a slap. I'll settle for some abusive language. But then people expect abusive language. When they're not hearing abusive language, they think something's wrong. She's doing good. She has an appointment today. We're going to be going to an appointment. She woke up with a cough. The cough doesn't seem to be bothering her right now. It was really hitting her earlier today. I think she misses the doctor. She just misses the doctor. I'll have to remind her that she made an appointment today. It'd be good for her just to get out of the house, go see her. She misses her doctors. I've noticed that. If it's been a while, she'll come up with an ailment. And she'll say, I need to see my doctor. And her doctor tells her she's okay, sends her home, or tells her go to Kroger and pick up What time is your... Oh, let me see. It's 1:35. 1:35 p.m. So it's 13:35 military time for my friends in the UK, or my Canadian friends. My Canadians. Yes. I think I have Canadian friends. In spite of what our government does, it ruins it for us when our government does something that we totally didn't see coming. I was stymied. Have you ever heard that term, stymied? Or like, what in the hell universe did I wake up in? When I had never heard of tariffs the whole time I've been alive. Here in India. Really? 12 o'clock in the morning? Oh, okay, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. AM means midnight. I have to keep remembering that. Ooh. The moon is out too. Have you seen the moon? A couple of days ago, a star was next to the moon. There was a moon and a star in the sky. A big planet. The moon is still waxing. It's not full yet, which I kind of like. It gives me hope for some reason. When I look up at the sky and I see the moon, it is. How about that? It's closer. It's elliptical, so it goes further away. And I've noticed that. I have this app that tells me how close the moon is. It's like 2 million miles, something like that. 2,000 miles. No, I think it is 200,000 miles away. Sometimes it's 300,000 miles away. It's amazing that we landed on the moon. There are some that say we did not land on the moon. Some say that we were told never to go to the moon, never return to the moon. Some say that we're so surrounded by garbage. The planet Earth is so surrounded by garbage that we can't leave. I'm snacking right now. I'm trying to lose weight, and I think I'm getting somewhere. I almost weigh 300 pounds. I weigh like 250 pounds. So I thought to myself, I gotta stop. Whatever it is that's making me so heavy. I don't need... 232 was my... Hello! 232. I was 232 pounds when I had my heart surgery. Now I'm like 30 pounds more. Thoughts on In-N-Out Burger? I haven't seen an In-N-Out Burger in a long time. In-N-Out. Here it's Sonic. I think Sonic and Checkers. What else? I haven't eaten at Burger King in a long time. Burger King. I like the Whopper. Home of the Whopper. Give me a Whopper. And some fries and a Coke. And then I'll feel guilty later. I'll feel guilty later. I always, guilt food. Sometimes we just have guilt food. We're doing stuff to our bodies that we know we shouldn't be. I'm snacking. I think snacking is better for you. A lot of people are into health snack. They buy those big bags of trail mix, and they'll eat trail mix instead of hamburgers and hot dogs. Cool. I can hold a conversation. Do I speak in complete sentences? I like how you talk. I like how you can hold a conversation. That's what I try to do here. We learn language. We learn conversation that doesn't end in crying. You should come to India. You know what? Sri Lanka, isn't that part of Italy? Or is not Italy? India. Sri Lanka is in Italy, right? I've seen pictures and video of that area. I'd like to do that. Go wherever people invite me. Somebody yesterday said that I should go to Egypt. I was talking to somebody yesterday that said I should go there. I need the money though. I've got to start focusing on having money, manifesting huge sums of money so I can go to India, Egypt, and Scotland and make that my thing. Just go places, try the foods, try the culture, how they celebrate, what holidays they celebrate. What's that one where they throw colored sand or powder? They throw colored powder at each other. Yeah. And they have the com-com. You know, they put it's a red. I guess each dot color has a meaning. They're dances. Please come. You will be amazed with her. Yeah. I know how long India was around during Grecian times. Alexander the Great came or he tried to conquer India. And India has interesting weaponry for hand-to-hand combat. You're from India. How about that? We got a bunch of people from India. And it's midnight there. Here it's 1 o'clock. You know what? You shouldn't have said lunch. Now I'm wanting lunch. Now I suddenly want lunch. Maybe I'll just keep eating my snacks. Well, welcome. Welcome to America, where we impose tariffs and make people mad. I think we're starting to realize how much we need each other. No matter what part of the continent you're on, if I had money, I would. Lately, I've been here in Georgia a lot. India is a different culture with marrying people. You can, yeah. I know. We don't even know what marriage is. I don't think we know what marriage is. A perfect marriage is two imperfect people who don't give up on each other. We have a lot of giving up on each other. People just give up. They just want the money. Why don't they just say, I just want the money? Just cut to the chase. That's what Americans should say when they I don't want to get married. I just want the money. I'll tolerate you until I can't tolerate you, and then I just want the money. I don't think it's like that everywhere. Yeah. We would, again, I don't know why that is. We value money over people. Of course. Of course. If we really look at it, why don't we just love each other? Why? What is our values? We have screwed up values. We make it harder on each other. Just to get simple life. Just to go from your cradle to your grave. That journey, that hard journey from your cradle to your grave. I know, and we claim to be Christians. We claim to be followers of Jesus Christ. And all I can say is, Jesus Christ, why are we divorcing so much? We all say we're Christian, we're a Christian nation. We all have love, and we want to get along with each other, forgive each other. It's all about money. They marry somebody because they have money, and they decide, I don't want to be with you anymore. Is it? Why do they make? It's a plant. It's a plant. All plants have effects on us, and money's made. That's why the government doesn't want you to be richer than them. And people in the mafia. They say the government is just a bigger version of the mafia. If you really look at it, they do things the same way. The police department, they do things the same way that the mafia does. But you know what? With the mafia, there's no crime. The mafia, Michael Francese, he talks about that. He's saying how I do. How about that? I got some people from India. And you know what? I like, maybe we resonate. You know, there's something, we have the same values. They say your mind is like a parachute. If it's not open, it won't work. Your mind is like a parachute. Say namaste. That's how you, yes, namaste. Why don't we say that to each other? Yeah. Yes, you've heard of him. Yeah. He was Sonny Francese. That was his dad. You didn't mess with him. People were afraid of him. And he was nice to the cops. The cops would be staking out his house, and he'd bring them breakfast, coffee, and they locked him up. You know, he did what he had to do. The government does what they have to do. And it's like, they don't, why do they criminalize? I keep thinking of Al Capone. I keep thinking of all the places that the mafia ran. There was no crime. The streets were clean. Hitler, yeah. Yeah, that's how you do it. Come to some kind of, I don't know, I don't want to condone crime. I don't want to organize crime. But you know what? They have something there. But I've never been on the business end of organized crime. I'm probably talking out of my you-know-what. True, haha. I love those guys. Old mafia. Yeah, they all knew what they meant. They said what they meant, and they meant what they said. And and I think they got a bad, of course, the killing, of course, but they didn't want to do drugs. They didn't want to involve themselves in drugs. They had rackets, you know, gambling rackets. They played on vices. That's what they did. They played on vices. They also played on the fear of people. Of the statement of the statement. Does that sound like me? Am I just rambling on? Well, that's neat. I've got at least 3 people from India. We're having a good conversation until I know. Are you messing with me? Yeah. It all started with Giuliani. That's what I heard. Giuliani really, it's, he wanted to clean up New York. Back in the times of Al Capone, everybody was run by the mafia. I hear they started in Sicily, and then there was the Italian. Every country has their own mafia. Just about every country. They have the Irish mafia, they have the Japanese mafia, they have, you name it. You should probably avoid such comments because you're not just rambling. Yeah, I'm not just rambling. Comments, yeah. sir, please find the attached file. File? Scanned PDF format, the statement of account very seriously and concepts, which is adapted from India. Remember the statement optimism. I'll try to understand that. I don't think I can download a PDF. And again, my reading is one of my, yeah. I think you're going over my head. I told you he's messing with you. I told you. Well, at least it's sunny outside. I like a sunny day. But sometimes I like cloudy days. I'm glad there's variations. We almost have 4 seasons here. Almost. I know we have summer, we have spring, and we have fall. Sorry for the joke. No! If you want to joke. We can do that. I like jokes, even if I don't understand them. Yeah. The statement of the statement. It is weird, whatever we say can and will be used against us in a court of law. It would be interesting to see what it was like in the 70s, in the 50s, in the 40s. What was life like back then? But then again, today, we need to focus on today, making today better. We need each other. That's what I should make a t-shirt that says that. We need each other. If we want to drink Jack Daniels, we're going to have to not have tariffs. If we want to have orange juice, I think Canada buys our orange juice. Why do we want to mess that up? I should sleep now. It is. Well, thank you for staying up. Maybe this will be your creature feature. Sometimes on Friday nights they'd have creature feature. And we would watch monster movies on Friday night. And at 11 o'clock. Why wait until 11 o'clock? You have to force yourself to be awake. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're able to shine some light into an otherwise dark world. That's what we are. We are the light of the world. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So bye. I guess I'll wait. Yes. And I'll be looking forward. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We hate to see you go. I haven't been playing my flute today. Beverly is the soul weight of weight. Brevity. Here are a few contenders for smallest best, depending on your taste. Parallel lines. Forwarded. So much. Uh-oh! I have a phone call. I will see everyone probably tomorrow. So, ignore. I guess I'll ignore that. It's probably somebody's just trying to irritate me. Alright. I will eat lunch. You'll probably go to sleep. You'll probably go to sleep if I can talk right. Have a good night.